today's episode, I am going to talk about setting healthy and firm boundaries in your business. As usual, I am going to read from my notes. I believe that when I've got notes in front of me, the podcast is more organized, and also it helps people to get clear understanding of what I'm talking about, okay? So, setting healthy and firm boundaries in business is essential for maintaining professionalism, protecting your time and energy, and fostering respectful, productive relationships. Clear boundaries are a cornerstone of a long-term success and well-being. Why boundaries matter in your business. Boundaries help define what is acceptable and what isn't in your business environment. Boundaries ensure that expectations are clear, prevent burnout, reduce misunderstandings, and create a foundation of mutual respect. Without boundaries, it's easy to fall into cycles of overworking, undercharging, or tolerating toxic behavior. When I start working with someone, as soon as we start talking, I can see that these people usually don't have any boundaries in place, and this is part of the programming and part of the transition from 9 to 5 life into running a business. When you work for someone else, it's difficult to have boundaries, because if you let's say to your employer that you've got way too many emails to deal with, they might seem understanding at the beginning, but after that they will use this against you. And I know this from personal experience. Personally, I haven't met in my experience in the corporate world for over 10 years, someone who is understanding of my workload. If there is someone out there with different experience, please let me know in the comments. And it takes a while for some of my students to realize how important boundaries are to run a healthy business. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about key areas to set boundaries. Okay, time and availability. Be clear about your working hours and stick to them. Avoid the expectations that you are available 24/7. And I'm hearing this a lot from other business owners. People often forget that just because we are small businesses, we don't have boundaries and we are always available to our clients. The funny thing is that people never take advantage of big corporations, but they're ready to take advantage of small businesses. So be very clear about your working time. If you have an online business and you often arrange Zoom calls or Teams calls on your calendar, you can actually set your availability, and this makes it easier to maintain your working hours. Personally, for me, my calendar for Friday is blocked because I just don't want to work on Fridays. And like I said, you can use tools like calendars, scheduling apps, autoresponders. A lot of them are free. Personally, I've never paid for any of those things. So, and it might take a while until you find a way to set your calendar correctly, but you will get there. Okay, just take a step back, take a deep breath. Don't get annoyed with technology, and you will find your way around it. So when you communicate different projects or different time frames about what you're working on, make sure that your responses are set on realistic expectations. Okay, even if you give yourself a bit more time, let's say if you run courses, and if you're not sure that 1 month course will be enough, just add a week. It's beneficial for you, even if you use that extra week just to recap what was the course about. Just use this extra week to benefit you, and this is going to also help you to reduce burnout. Okay, communication is very important in business. But it's also very important to establish preferred channel of communication. So whether that's going to be email, phone, or any messaging apps, just make sure you are clear when you on your website or on your social media, when you talk to someone. If you want to contact me, send me a message on WhatsApp or Messenger, or send me an email, whatever works for you. At the end of the day, one of the many benefits of running your own business is that you get to set your own rules, and these rules are there to protect your energy and the energy of your business. Okay. Define how and when you will respond. Okay, for example, I check my emails twice a day and will respond within 24 hours. You don't have to respond to a message straight away. If you're in the middle of something and messages start coming through, and you think that you need to respond to these messages straight away, this might make you feel anxious. So finish doing what you're doing, and when you've got time, when you feel ready, then respond to your messages. Okay, nobody says that you have to stop everything and get back to someone immediately. Like I said, this is your own business. You don't work for someone else. You've got the right to respond a bit later. Okay. And also, like I said earlier, don't feel obligated to reply instantly unless the situation demands urgent response. Take your time and look after yourself and your well-being and the well-being of your business. The next one I have put here is scope of work. Use clear proposals, clear descriptions on your websites or on your social media networks about the products and services you're offering. For example, if you running a workshop, or if you sell courses, or if you do one-to-one coaching, be specific about what this coaching program is all about. When a client asks for more than what's agreed upon, don't get angry, don't allow your ego to take over. Just take a deep breath, focus on your heart center, and say something like, this is not included in the price, but I'll be happy to provide cost. Okay. And this often happens with the free consultation or free discovery call a lot of businesses are offering, myself included. So recently I had to put a note on my calendar link as to why this free service is available, because there's a lot of people online with different agendas. Not everybody has good intentions. By being specific on what the free services is all about, you are protecting your energy, you are protecting your knowledge, and at the same time, don't forget you're running a business. If you don't generate money, you're not exactly running a business, you're running a hobby. And also, you can enforce payments, payment terms like deposits, due dates, late fees. I personally don't like the late fee situation. But you can use systems like PayPal, I want to say Stripe, Square, I think it's another one, to make it easier for people to pay like a deposit for your products and services. And by doing that, you also secure the booking, and you know that you've got a client, an ideal client in place who is aligning with you and aligning with the values of your business. Okay. So the next one that I've put here is personal boundaries. Just because you run a business, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have personal boundaries in place, okay? Avoid oversharing personal matters in professional settings, okay? You can give an example with your personal experience, but don't forget the person you're working with is not you. They might find the information you're sharing that is aligning with them, they might not. Also, say no to projects or clients that don't align with your values or your goals. When I work with someone, students are often afraid to say no to something because they're going through a transition. They think that they need to, if they say no, they in a way say no to money. No, you're saying no to negative energy. Money is energy. I've said this many times before. If you say no to something that doesn't align with you, the universe will reward you with something that aligns with you. Protect your energy by limiting interactions with toxic or manipulative people, which is very common online, even if they offer business opportunities. If something looks appealing at the beginning, ask a few questions. What is that all about? How is this going to benefit my business? How much is it going to cost? And those sort of things. If something inside of you tells you that something isn't right, this is your intuition giving you a fair warning that whatever you're being offered, it's not for you. So I'm going to share a few tips here for enforcing boundaries gracefully. So like I said earlier, step away from your ego. This is one of the things I teach my students as a mindfulness coach, to step away from their ego and focus on their heart chakra. In the 3D world, as I like to call it, we are pretty much all the time led by our ego. We tend to react very aggressively to something that we don't like, instead of saying something like, no, thank you, at the moment this doesn't align with me, but if in the future I feel like it will align with me, I will contact you. Okay. Be proactive, not reactive. Learn from your mistakes. So like I said earlier, I gave an example with my calendar. Even though I've had my business for quite some time, recently someone booked a free discovery or free consultation with me, and they basically tried to sell me something. So that was a wake-up call for me to put a note on my calendar that this link is only for people who want to start their own businesses and run a business that aligns with them, and so on and so on. Right, use I statements. For example, I don't take calls after 6 p.m. instead of you can't call me late. Okay, you see the difference in sentences. So by saying I, you are taking ownership of your boundaries and you stick to them. If you say you can't call me later, it's like you're talking to one of your friends. And by saying you can't call me later, you're actually saying to this person no, you just don't call me at all, which is a bad business practice. You can say no in a more efficient and gentle way. You just have to learn how to do it. Stay consistent, okay? If you bend your boundaries once, it becomes harder to enforce it later. Sometimes it's really difficult to stick to your boundaries because running your own business, it's all about making a difference and helping people. I'm all about helping small businesses to become more and more successful, but sometimes I need to remind myself as well to stick to my boundaries. And also another thing that I'd like to sort of point out here. So if you offer free consultation or free discovery call, you could have like a short script that you've written in advance that is sort of very gently point out to the person you're talking to that this is a free service. And it's not about just giving help and information for free, but it's about seeing that this person aligns with you in order to work with you. Okay. Practicing saying no. A long time ago, I recorded a video on my TikTok channel, The Art of Saying No. You can be firm and kind at the same time, okay? What I've learned in my experience that yes, you have to say clear no to someone, but at the same time, you need to be kind in the way you say it. So if you say, for example, no, I can't stay on this call for more than 30 minutes, and that's it. You are closing the door to this person, because this person might come back to you later and wanting to work with you. But if you say, no, this is only no, at this moment we can't talk about this. This is only a free 30-minute consultation to see how I can help you. That this is a totally different story. And again, when you say things like this, when you say no, say it with your heart, say it with kindness. All right. Right. So back your boundary system. Boundaries with systems. Use, for example, I've got on my website no refund policy, or different contracts or different proposals. Before you book someone in, or just tell them or send them your no refund policy or no cancellation policy, whatever you want to call it. Having no refund or no cancellation policy in place is protecting your business. Common challenges when it comes to setting boundaries and how to handle them. Fear of losing clients, that is a big one. High quality clients respect boundaries, okay? You really don't want to work with someone who doesn't respect your boundaries. It's going to ruin your energy, and it's going to ruin the energy of your business. You're not going to feel happy about your work, and you're not going to make good money. Again, I know this from experience. Those who don't are often more trouble than they're worth. Like I said, everybody is going through different healing journeys. Everybody's healing journey is different. People who joined my Facebook group months and months ago are now on a totally different mindset, and they want to find out more about what I do. People will come to you in their own time. If someone didn't align with you a few months ago, it doesn't mean they're not going to align with you now or later on. Right, what else do I have? Guilt or people-pleasing tendencies. Again, this is very common for the 3D world and for the corporate world. When I worked for a corporation, we were ready to do everything for the client, even if it wasn't in scope, even if we didn't have enough employees to provide that particular service or product. And this is a bad business practice. Boundaries aren't selfish. They are a form of self-respect and professional behavior. Push back from others, okay? People might try and make you feel bad about your boundaries. The only people who have problems with your boundaries are the people who don't like the fact that you have boundaries. Stay calm and repeat that boundary without apologizing. You have nothing to sorry for. Your boundaries are there in place, like I've said, to protect your energy and the energy of your business. Your energy and the energy of your business is one thing. If you are in a low vibe, your business is going to be in a low vibe. Clarity earns respect. Okay. And why boundaries in business are so important. So boundaries are not barriers, they are bridges. They help you work smarter, lead confidently, and collaborate with integrity. By setting and upholding clear, healthy boundaries, you protect your peace, deliver better work, and build lasting professional relationships based on trust and mutual respect. And this is one of the things I teach my students at the Manifestation Academy for Wealthpreneurs. I'm going to include a link to my website in the description. I offer various online courses and coaching programs to help small businesses to transition from the 9-to-5 life into running a successful business. My approach to coaching is very spiritual. We always start with inner work. We work on the mindset. I teach my students to shift from negative into positive mindset. We talk about boundaries. I teach my students to learn to tap into their intuition and follow it. The only thing that will never lie to you is your intuition. And I've often said to my students, I have taken any one of my business decisions following my intuition. And a couple of announcements before I finish. My second ebook is now available to purchase on my website. A guide to successful online business is now available on my website. Like I said, I will include the link below. And also, I am going to run a workshop. I'm planning to start next month in August. The name of the workshop is Mastering the Art of Manifesting, unless I come up with something more spiritual as a name. To stay up to date with what I do, subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Facebook. Thank you for watching and have an amazing day.